The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Being a good child artist usually doesn't matter too much unless you have a weird lake that brings them to life. In that case, they can be cute and smash your face at the same time. Amber, Scott, and special guest Donna discuss Sketch. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Well, I can officially say that Amber has led us in the most effed up journal doodle session I've ever seen.
Amber. Okay, so our main character in this film is named Amber, so that won't be confusing. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode we are talking about Sketch. When a young girl's sketchbook falls into a strange pond, her drawings come to life. Unpredictable, chaotic, and dangerously real. As the town unravels, she and her brother must track down the creatures before they leave permanent damage.
Okay, for this episode, we are bringing in a special guest. It's my mom! Hi, Donna.
Hello, Scott.
All the way from Texas. Yeah, so we all saw this on a sneak preview night, and
States apart. Donna in Texas and us in California. So we thought it was a fun opportunity to bring the family together remotely.
yeah. We're not a movie review show, but I'm still going to ask you, Mom, what did you think?
Honestly, it felt like a young version of a horror movie.
Yes.
Really?
Actually, that's exactly the vibe I got from it as well. It was basically a PG horror movie.
Aw.
Yes.
You guys are sharing some DNA over there. I didn't think that. I thought it was a very clever way of examining emotions. And the fact that, okay, well, first of all, I need to address the fact that in the first couple of minutes, one of the teachers said, you can't help how other people make you feel. Well, that's wrong, and that teacher should be written up because that's actually not true. You can't control, and other people can't make you feel things. But that's another topic for another day. But what the gist of this is that our young character, Amber, the mom of the family died, and she's drawing pictures which are disturbing. I mean, they're just flat out disturbing. But she's processing the loss of her mom and how she's feeling, and she's using sketching as an outlet. The problem, however, which is later identified in the film, is that the dad and the son aren't talking about the loss. They aren't talking about the mom. They aren't talking about their feelings, and that it's actually the girl who is not messed up, but more that they're the ones who are messed up because she's actually finding a way to cope and deal with the loss that she's experiencing with her mom's death. And I'm sorry, Dave spits glitter. How much of a horror movie can that be? It's glitter.
I mean, there was a lot of glitter. Yeah.
I mean, Donna's a teacher, so I think she has a unique take on a what would you do here. Is, Donna, what would you do, and maybe this has happened to you in real life, as a teacher, since you have spent many, many, many years in classrooms, if you discover the notebook of a young child who has drawn some disturbing drawings?
I would immediately go to our counselor, who would probably pull in parents just to make sure everything was, you don't know what's going on at home. But
yeah.
It is certainly something you want to explore with professionals.
Yeah, and in this case, I'm sure that probably the school and her teachers did know that the mom passed away. I mean, that's definitely something that I would imagine school administrators would be alerted to, right?
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there was a reason, such as a death, and such a significant one as a mom, so you all knew the reason, what would you do with someone like Amber?
It would depend on what kind of a relationship I had with her. I would hope it would be a good one that we could talk. See if she needs a trusted adult. If she seemed very belligerent about it and going, no, I don't want to talk about this, I think I'd still send her to the school counselor who would have more experience in something like this than what I would.
Yeah, because, I mean, as a teacher, obviously you are there to teach. You're not necessarily trained psychological professionals.
Correct.
So how about this one? Mom, as I'm sure you've listened to a few of these episodes, as you know, I'm liable to jump around. And so I'm going to do that here.
Jump around.
So they've got
boing.
They've got the urn of their mom and the ashes. And they have this weird lake that seems to fix,
repair,
or
bring
back
to life
whatever you put into it. So the boy, like if you're the boy, do you throw mom in the lake and be like, come back? Either one of you.
Jack he misses his mom, and he has been identified as someone who hasn't really processed that. That's where I think that could actually turn into a horror movie, is someone coming back. And I'm sure that this is some other movie at some other point where you try to bring someone back from the dead and they are not as they were before.
Well, I think we covered that one in handling the undead. A long time ago.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, we already have a guest here today.
Okay.
So Don.
Well, I wonder if things might be different if the dad had not removed all the pictures of mom, which he appeared to be doing for himself, not the children.
Yeah, he was clearly hiding the pain. So here's a couple of unique takes I have on this. Number one, that dad was definitely cheating on that mom.
What? What?
The boy's like, I want to bring mom back. He's like, hang on. Let's think this through before we do anything rash. Okay, maybe not. But, like, seriously? Oh, that urn's going in the lake. 1 million. If I think there's any chance, like, Amber, if that's you in the urn, please don't be in the urn. But if that's you in the urn, that thing's going in the lake. Like, come on. Come on!
Don't come back a mutant.
You know what? I'll take my chances. If as long as I can get better than the ashes.
There's 5 arms on mutant Amber. There's more of her to love you.
But there wasn't really a lot of. See, that's the thing, is there was nothing that they saw that would have led one to believe that it was coming back in a mutated form.
No, the plate came back and was repaired. The broken phone was repaired. The monsters were birthed in that pond exactly as they were drawn. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, maybe the dad was a big fat cheater. What do you think, Donna?
Well, considering everything that was just said, he was a cheater.
Oh, we're twisted this one up. Yeah, no, I mean, like, clearly he's failing at this parenting thing. But
I don't know. He's not failing at the parenting thing. He is handling grief in his own way. And unfortunately, parents, they're compromised. They're trying to handle their own grief, and then they have to be responsible for the kids and their grief. And, it's something that people need help with. And very frequently, they don't know to ask for help.
I think it's super easy to fail in that situation because you're right. There's so much that's going on that you haven't had to deal with that now all of a sudden you have to deal with. But like, it seems to me like if mom's back in the picture, that all of that goes away.
So, Donna, what would you do if you were in this town? Let's say you're the school bus driver and you're driving along and you see a wreck and you see all this blue paint on the ground and you see this monster, or if you're any person in the town, you see these strangely colorful and destructive monsters. What do you do?
That's a very good question.
I mean,
if I was the bus, I don't think I'd be sitting there examining what's in front of me. I think I would have hightailed it out of there.
Yeah, there was a lot of sitting and watching while giant blue monsters are vomiting glitter. I'm getting the hell out of there. Like, I don't know what that is, but it can't be good.
Well, his name's Dave. I mean, how bad can it be? So when you realize the power of this pond and that it could create anything. And they're looking to create weapons to fight the monsters and anything that they can do to help them. If you could create anything in this pond, Donna or Scott, what would you create?
I don't know. That gun that the other kid had seemed like that was a fun one.
Really? You'd create a weapon. Okay.
I mean, why not? I don't
Laws?
know.
Laws?
Maybe a T-Rex.
Donna, how about you?
I'm thinking a helicopter because I want to get out of there.
That's a good idea. Very practical. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, my stick figures have scoliosis, so I'm not sure you want anything that I've drawn to come to life, like at all. Even things that were supposed to be normal would look deformed.
Well, it's a good, and you referenced this at the beginning about journal doodles, because what folks here might not know is I actually have a membership where we use drawing and doodling to help process emotions. And this character's name is Amber. So obviously this film has been on my radar of something that I wanted to see. But it's a good reminder about needing an outlet. And the dad referenced it as an inbox and an outbox of what comes in and what goes out. And Amber was using her sketchbook to process things that came in. And it's a solid way of looking at finding ways to process that just impact you, that like, and this is one thing that teacher did do right, the one that I didn't like at the beginning, is she said it's better to draw how you feel and get it out of your system than it is to do something real, like to actually hurt someone or impact someone or do something that's going to have a devastating impact. And
or keep it pent up.
Yeah. And Donna, being a teacher, like what is your experience with things like that? What have you seen?
I'm not quite sure what you're asking me, but I did love the inbox and the outbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't necessarily control what gets thrown at you, but you can control what gets thrown back. And that's, Amber, that's a little where I actually will take, I know you and I have had similar discussions before, and I think we've mostly agreed to disagree.
No, you're wrong.
But I think what other people do can affect how you feel. Now, and because it's like emotions are by definition non-rational. Like they're going to make you feel what you feel. Now, you can process it, and then after you process it, you can be like, okay, they're trying to get this out of me. I'm not going to let them have that, or whatever. You could think through it. But when something happens, there is an immediate visceral reaction, whether it's good, bad, happy, scared, terrified.
Yeah, there is. And that's where emotional regulation comes into play. And that's, part of the work that I do outside of this podcast is realizing that circumstances happen in life. Circumstances can be people, events. They can be anything. They in themselves are neutral. We have a thought about that circumstance. That thought creates an emotion. That emotion creates an action that we take and then dictates the result that we get. Someone can say, that dress doesn't look good on you. And that's a circumstance. The thought I have could be like, well, that was mean. That was rude. Or it could be like, oh, wow, I'm really glad I have someone in my life I can trust who can tell me this dress doesn't look good on me so I don't go out in public in it. We are going to get two very different emotions from those two very different thoughts.
Well, I think it also has to do with the fact that, like, if you're insulting someone, if you are saying things to them that are blatantly untrue, that isn't generally going to hurt them. Okay, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's when people insult you by saying things that are true. That's when it really digs.
But if you know what's true, you can have the thought to say, okay, well, this person sees the facts as I do. And, there's no hiding this. We both see the same situation. Or you can be like, how dare they? Why would they say that and hurt my feelings? If I know it, I should just be able to accept it. Like, okay, well, I know this fact. Everybody else can see this fact. It's a fact. There's no hiding it. It's the thoughts that we have about circumstances that create our emotions.
You got anything here, Mom?
No, what I was going to add in though is I also am a member of the journal doodling.
Journal doodles.
Thank you. It's late here. Journal doodles. It's an extremely well put together, well thought through way to process your emotions and how you see things maybe in a different way by going through the exercises that Amber creates.
Yeah, I was.
And this is sane Amber who doesn't create monsters.
Yeah, I was about to say that my Amber does a much better job of dealing with emotional stuff through drawing than that Amber does.
Yeah, and we can tell our intern to drop the link in our show notes for anyone who might be interested in the General Doodles program. But it's really important to have outlets. And I think, that's one of the biggest takeaways here is if that's a creative outlet, if it's a writing outlet, if it's any sort of something that you said earlier that prevents things from being pent up. Because I think, sadly, that's when school shootings happen. And, terrible things like that is when people don't have an outlet and it builds and it stacks and then until it eventually just blows up.
Everyone wants to be seen in some way, shape, or form. The trick is to make sure that these people are seen before they grab AK-47s. And also, we'll drop the link in the show notes, but also just journaldoodles.com.
So, Donna, what would you do if you came across any of these colorful and unique monsters in the woods?
Did I have my helicopter already?
No, your pen ran out of ink. You do not have the helicopter.
Womp womp.
Hide as best I could. I'd be terrified. She drew some really creepy things.
Yeah. But those spiders, though, they were easy to kill. The ice spiders.
But there were so freaking many of them.
But they just kind of poofed into dust when you impacted them or got them wet.
Yeah. They were actually kind of cute.
Yeah, you just get a hose with a spray nozzle and you're like the Terminator.
So
they had to figure it out.
Last question. What do we think of Boatman? I think that was his name. Why are you looking at me confused, Scott? The kid that she was stabbing in the stomach.
Oh, that brat?
Yeah.
That beehole?
Yeah. Have you known a boatman? Has either of you known a boatman?
I've not.
I really haven't either. He just seemed like he wanted attention, and he was going to do it to anybody any way he could to get attention.
Well, it took over half the film for me to realize that he was a he. I thought it was a she
No.
I actually thought it was a she for most of it until they actually gendered him.
Yeah, I was a little unsure as well. He had some very nice hair.
Yes, exactly. I was like, that hair says you're a chick.
I had a boatman. His name was Robert, and he was a classmate of mine in 3rd grade. But he was actually worse than Boatman. He used to kick me because he liked me.
Oh, well, yeah, the things you chicks go through. I'd never had a girl beat up on me because she liked me.
Yeah, no, he kicked my butt. I would actually got bruises, and my mom had to talk to the teacher because he liked me.
Could you like her another way, please? Something less physical?
I mean, I can only imagine what it looked like when he started dating in college.
Smack, smack, smack. I love you. Smack, smack.
Donna, final thoughts on Sketch?
I thought it was an interesting movie. I thought when I was sitting in the theater and I saw it was done by Angel Studio, I was very confused because they're the ones that are closely related to doing The Chosen. And I'm going, what is the deal here?
So, fun fact, Angel Studios did not produce that film. They purchased it afterwards or agreed to come on as a distributor. Like, it was done without Angel's oversight, and then somehow they came into the fold through some business deal. So that is...
Oh.
Yeah, that would explain a little bit.
But they still did the thing at the end with a QR code, and the QR code goes to some little app where you can draw your monsters and they come to life, which I'm looking forward to playing with.
Yeah, I got that, and I am just concerned of how many people are going to draw a penis and then animate it.
Only you would go there.
Well, I stayed there to do the QR code and get it going. It looks like it could be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'll play with it later.
That's what she said.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.